It's kind of scary, right? And you might say, I don't feel so close to God. I have to always dial out. I don't feel so close to God. And the question you have to ask yourself is, who moved? Right? God didn't move. We're gonna have a relationship, just like we talked about in the last class. But we'll get more into today more relationships. But who knows what the first commandment of the 10 Commandments is? I'm a shepherd. Does that sound like a commandment? No. So why is it a commandment?
You have to believe that he is.
How do we translate the commandment as on the shepherd?
We did this for
I know the other
How do you
night.
do?
We did do 3 questions.
We did?
Four.
How many did you do? All 3? No, you picked
2. We did 2 of them.
Oh, so we'll start with number 3. Yeah, I know where to start. I couldn't remember where you go. So what's the commandment? The commandment is we translate to know Hashem. Of course, you can't take God to dinner to Starbucks and get to know him. Right? How do you know Hashem? The same thing, like, if I say you come to a class for the first time, I say Coach Ratner. Okay, there's no reason not to believe me, but you don't know me. I could be like a narcissist, I could be like a fake. You have no idea. How do you know me? How do you know I'm telling the truth? How do you know I'm giving you MS in this class today? The only way to know, tell you the truth, in my opinion, the only way to know is to come see me when I'm not in class, see my family, come interact with my dog, my children, my wife, and then, you can't lie. Those things can't lie. Am I right? You can't lie. So what the Torah is asking us to know God, is it speaking to someone who believes in God? I mean, there's different kinds of mitzvahs. Like, there's no mitzvah. What are the mitzvahs for? They're for us really to grow as a person, to complete ourselves as a person. There's no mitzvah to eat breakfast. There's no mitzvah to eat a piece of candy, right? Or whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
Why? Because it tastes good. We like doing it. But there's a mitzvah to give away 10% of your after-tax next income. Why? Because it's not so easy to give money away. I don't know about you, but it's not so easy, right? Very hard. It's a muscle. In fact, the Rambam says better to give away $1 a day for 100 days than give away $100 at one time. Because when you start working that muscle, it becomes easier and easier and easier. So the mitzvah is for us to grow. So what's the mitzvah of knowing God? Is it speaking to someone who believes in God? If you believe in God, does that really, obviously it's a mitzvah for everybody, but is it speaking to you? Probably not. You already believe in God. So using logic, what would you then say? Who's the mitzvah for?
For those that don't believe.
For those who don't believe in God. Where are you from? You're from here, right?
Yeah.
Who's from America? Who's in the city of America? Where are you from?
California.
Where?
Bay Area.
Bay Area. Okay. You have any friends who are Jewish?
Friends are Jewish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends who are not religious?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Give me a name of your friend.
Name of a non-religious Jewish
Yeah, yeah,
friend?
yeah.
Andy.
Andy. What's your name?
Michael.
Michael goes to Andy. Michael goes to Andy. You won't believe this? I was just at the church. Well, oh my God, you won't believe it. Do you know there's a mitzvah in the Torah that you're to know God? Andy's response. What? Really? I had no idea. Okay, I believe in God. Let's go learn Torah. Where's Shabbos? Where's Kashrut? Let's do it, baby. Let me get married so I can keep the laws of family purity. But I don't touch my wife for 2 weeks. That's awesome. Does that make sense?
No.
Of course not. So if the mitzvah is not speaking to those who believe in God, and the mitzvah is not speaking to those who don't believe in God, who's the mitzvah to know God speaking to? Seriously, who's it speaking to?
The ones who know.
They know it already.
Yeah, but it's basically saying
believe.
Close.
engage with me.
Okay, you're close.
No?
It's asking those to upgrade their belief in God. So I put this into 3 levels, and then we're going to get to the third question that's asked for you. I just want to get a little bit of God talking before we're going to Rosh Hashanah, where we're speaking to God. So I made an acronym. I heard Rob Gov give this class when I first came here 6 years ago. I heard the class, and it needs an acronym. They got to have something, right? It needs an acronym. So I came up, this is Rob, I guess Rob Gov. The acronym is GET to YES. Is yes. There's actually a book called Get to Yes. It's a business book based on negotiations, how you negotiate, and you can both become winners. So if I have to win, you have to lose, right? And the S stands for secular or simple beliefs. These are beliefs that you're raised with about God. I went to a conservative show growing up. And I don't remember ever talking about God. They must have, because we had prayers, we had Shemona Esrei, that kind of thing. But of course, I didn't know what I was doing. And when I started learning Torah for the first time in my life, deeper Torah, my Rebbe said to me, "Do you know that God loves you?" I'm like, "What do you mean God loves you?" I go, "Isn't that a Christian idea?" She goes, "Where do you think they got it from?" These are all, everything we have in our non-Jewish world comes from the Jewish world. So these are the secular beliefs you're raised from your parents, without thinking. If you ask a typical person, you ask Andy in San Francisco, Andy, do you believe in God? He's going to think you're a weirdo for even asking that question, isn't he? Yeah, he's going to think like, so just because they don't think about it, it's not even a thought in their mind that we're just born randomly. God has nothing to do with this world. Everything happens. They believe in the they don't believe in the law of entropy, which means everything happens. If you leave everything to itself, everything's going to mess up. Which our world is a perfect world. When the sun, the moon, the stars, everything is aligned perfectly. DNA, the flat, everything. This is what secular belief. The next category is the Emunah. Who can translate Emunah? It's a Hebrew word.
Belief.
Faith. Faith. What does faith mean? Blind belief in something without any evidence. I believe in something even though I have no evidence in it. It's fine. We do this all the time. But that's not knowing God's about. Rabbi Noah Weinberg, the founder of this organization, said you have to have what's called 5-finger clarity about God. We want to upgrade our belief. I made it 3 levels. You can say there's 30,000 levels. I made it simple for us, right? This word is called idea. Idea is from the word yodea. You guys knew Hebrew, right? To know? Am I right? Idea now? Yeah. Idea. There's a difference between faith and knowledge. Let me give you an example. Let's say I write you, and you guys don't know me that well, but some of you know me better. Like, let's say I write you a check for $20 a piece, right? You go back home and you put it on your nightstand and you're going to go to the bank in the morning to deposit, all right? Are you going to lose sleep that that check's going to bounce? You going to lose sleep over it? You're going to, oh my gosh, that check, like, you're not going to think about it, right? There's no reason for the check $20 not to bounce. It's clear. You're not going to think about it. That's faith that my check's going to clear. The question, and this is going to give you the answer between Emunah and Yediyah. The question is, would you bet your life on it?
Wow.
I could have written that my signature could have been bad. I could have forgot to deposit, get an old checking account. There's lots of reasons why a check bounces. I mean, no one uses a check anymore. I'm just saying this as an example. But it's zealot too, obviously, when you get here in Israel, or right. Anyone have checks anymore? I used to live on checks. I used to live on checks. I remember when I first got into my business. It's funny. The guy points. I was so excited to get a checkbook with my name on it, Ratner Rare Point Investments. It was like the biggest thing. I wanted one with 3, that a page of 3. Because all the big dealers have these big checks, the page of 3, they come brought us back a checks. And I was so excited to have a big check.
Always had that for a business.
Which is so funny because there's no difference between a big check and a little check, and it was so much more money. I don't know why I did that. You know what that was? My ego run amok. Because I thought if I had the same checks as the big players, I'd be a big player. Just like when I got the first walkie-talkie at a trade show, we used to do these trade shows at conventions, and I went to work for a company for a few shows, and they had this is before walkie-talkies were toys. They had the Motorola, little Motorola, and they were like $1,000 a shot. This is back late 80s. I don't think we had cell phones yet, did we?
No.
We had car phones.
No cell phones.
And I thought it was the coolest thing. Whatever. Now it's working with that walkie-talkie. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, in our prayers, we use emunah a lot, but when we're wrapping the tefillin, "Ve'ishtecha li lo'olam, ve'ishtecha li be'tzedek u'mishpat."
What do you say? What do you say?
Yediyat Adonai. When we wrap the tefillin, we're saying not emunah and Hashem, we're saying yediyat.
Knowledge of Hashem.
Knowledge of Hashem.
We want to upgrade our belief to have knowledge of Hashem. And by the way, how does it relate to relationships? When you're getting married, God willing someday, or soon, your wife isn't going to come to you with a piece of paper and say, these are my list of requirements. I need to rub my back every day, buy me a shadle, buy me a BMW, take me to dinner once a week, talk to me every day when you come for. She's not giving that list of needs that she has in her life. You have to know what speaks to your wife. And you have no idea because we're not telling you. We're like, no one's giving us this lesson how to connect to our wife on an emotional level. We talked last week, let's get back to last week's class a little bit, 2 weeks ago. We talked about pies. Who remembers what this is?
Physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual.
Physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. Spiritual. You ever get this? Get the yes. We don't clear belief in God. We're going to Rosh Hashanah. Listen, whatever belief we have this year, we want to raise it the next year and next year and next year, every year. Now, obviously, women are more spiritual. I don't know if you know this. One of the reasons why we have to wear a kippah and women don't. I have a question to ask you. If someone asks you why do you wear a kippah, what do you say to them?
Recognize Father God's
Shine the
I'm a
sun.
proud Jew. That doesn't get the answer.
Recognize that there's something above us and we're.
What did you say?
Yeah, the Hashem is above us and always with us.
To serve as a reminder that Hashem is there.
That's what it is. That's what I was saying. You know what? I would say, you know what? Because sometimes I think I'm God. This reminds me that I'm not God. Or something above us. That's what I would say. It's good, right? Yeah. Men, we have egos. We think we run the world. We want to build the world. And women are technically more spiritual. They don't have to have a problem not forgetting about God is. Okay. So we're going to continue with the previous class about really the third question was asked before you get married. Question number 1. Who was not here 2 weeks ago? I don't do it. Question number 1 was, do I find her physically attractive? Him, if you whatever you want, I'm not going to judge anybody. Right? Do you find her physically attractive? Number 2 was, do we share a common meaningful purpose? That took up most of the class.
Do we share our what purpose?
Common meaningful purpose. More than money, more than having children, more than working out. Something has to be deeper and more spiritual than just this physical world. Something that beyond this world, which means either helping charity, something else. And we talked about, I met this couple from Jet who help conservative movements, right? The third question you must ask before you get married is different for a man and a woman. The third question was asked before you get married. For a man is, you know what? Am I willing to make her happy the rest of her life? Am I willing to make her happy if she gains 75 pounds?
About 300.
300 pounds. By the way, if she gains 300 pounds, you're not doing good emotional health care. Right? She is like dying for emotional connection, and she's using food as a crutch. People who get heavy aren't eating more than you are, not hungry than you. People who are very overweight is because it's a physical manifestation of emotional problem. That's where it comes from, right? There's something going on in their life that usually when you see a wife who's getting really, not all women get heavy, I'm being honest, just because if you have a lot of children, it's a typical thing for a woman to get heavy, which is fine. Heavier, I won't say heavy, heavier. But when they're severely heavy, it's because there's probably a lack of emotional connection from the husband. He's probably not paying attention to her, probably not listening to her. And as men, we're not so good at this. We need to do a better job at this, connecting to them. I said earlier in the course, when I was in my early 20s, I couldn't get a second date. I said to my best friend, half of my kids get a second date. He said, stop talking and just listen. Because that's what women want. Women want a guy that listens to them and understands them. Actually, I have something new to give you. What I have with me. No. I don't have it. It was this week's Torah tidbits. And what it was, I do have it. It talked about, I don't know if I mentioned this, but in the second paragraph of Shema, we say, Shema v'tishma'u. Hear and you shall listen. The word Shema, it's the same word. Hear and you shall listen. But I was reading in Rabbi Jonathan Sachs that he says the root of Shema is a key word in the book of Deuteronomy, where it occurs 92 times, usually in the sense of what God wants from us in response to a commandment. There's a word for commandment, which is mitzvah. But what's the word for obey? There is no Hebrew word for the word obey. There's a commandment. I'm commanding you to do this. There's no, I obey. Okay, I obey your command. There's no word for it.
So you said 92 times it corresponds to what?
Different meanings. I'm going to go through these real fast. Deuteronomy, but throughout the Torah, it's to hear. When Abraham heard that his relative Lot had been taken captured, the word Shema I heard. To pay attention, to understand, and the one I wanted to get over to is Na'aseh v'nishma. When the Jews are standing in front of Mount Sinai and they said, God says, I'm going to give you the Torah, and they say, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do and we will understand. Shema means understand. I understand what you want. I understand what you need. And we have to learn to understand what the needs of our wife is. So making our wife happy. There's a famous saying. What's the famous saying? happy wife. It is so true. I say that the three certainties of life: taxes, death, happy wife, happy life. Because when your wife's happy, you're going to be happy. That's the way things work. Now, obviously, and here's a big issue. And this is one of the keys I say when you're dating. The key to finding a spouse is really emotional health. Emotional health is the key, and we have so much dysfunction in the world today. Dysfunction travels through generations, just so you know. Obviously, you hope to break that chain if you come from a dysfunctional family, but it usually goes from generation to generation unless you do something about it. And emotional health is the most important thing we want in a spouse. Better looking than breasts, more important than how they look, more important than money, anything else. Emotional health, because that's what keeps you tied into a relationship.
What do you mean by that?
Emotional health. So I would say that, I don't know if you know this, but in 2021, the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, came out with a report that said that 1 out of 3 teenage women, teenage girls, had seriously considered suicide. 1 out of 3, and the rate for boys is 1 out of 6, half as much. Probably Corona, maybe 2021. I don't know.
That was all based on previous year's findings, though, so it's
Probably, I don't know.
Not even
I've done
close.
research. Crazy. And if you go to like any seminary, I'm sure that a large percentage of the women are on some sort of antidepressants or anything like that. And it's fairly common today, right? It doesn't mean you can't marry them. It just means to be aware of these things. That I remember when I was dating my wife, on my first date, she was living at home. And I asked when I was driving home, I said, "Can I meet your mom?" Now I wasn't religious at the time. I was 34 years old, but I just knew consciously that if she has it, because I liked her a lot, that if she has a healthy, happy, mom, that more likely than not, she's going to be the same way. So I met her. It's funny because her mom invited me. Their mom's a little dysfunctional, but she's great. She means well. My mom's dysfunctional too, just so you know. I mean, like, it's in my books. No, my mom's great. My mom would have loved you, right? You come over to her house, you talk to her, you have a great accent, and you eat her food probably. If you talked to her, eat her food, she loved you. If you didn't, she hated you. That's the way it worked in my house. So, yeah, so my mom, she lived a long time, and 120. Soon. No, I'm just kidding. She has dysfunction, but she means really well. She had a great relationship with her husband. My father-in-law is Shlomo Leah, who died this past January. He basically made his wife happy. And I'm not sure a lot of people have gone through what he went through to deal with her, but he did. And they had a great relationship, and their kids are amazing, amazing kids. And all their grandkids, my kids are all amazing kids, right? She invited me to Pesach, which I thought was weird because in the frum community we do that all the time, but in the secular community they don't like people for Pesach, right? It's usually just her friends and family. But she invited me. I didn't go, but did I go? I don't think I went that year. I think we just started dating. I might have went. I can't remember.
You must not have been too comfortable.
It's funny. Did I go for Pesach? I can't remember.
That's why cell phones are really crucial these days, because now you're just backing pictures.
Right. I don't
It's a
remember.
hug. I think.
Before the clock starts, you take a picture and
I don't think I did. I don't even know why I thought about that. Anyway, okay. So that's the third question. The third question for a man is different than for a woman is different than a man. The third question a woman must ask before she marries a guy is, do I respect him? Respect is crucial for a man. And you don't know this at your age. I'm sorry, you just don't. Maybe you do. And maybe you do. Respect is crucial for us. Of course, she does also. Respect. You know what respect is? Respect.
I know respect this.
Yeah. More important than love. More important your wife respects you than her coming up and running out and kissing you when you come from work. Which means, and this is the big issue with women who are dating. I asked a girl, she asked me, should I marry this guy? I'm like, do you respect him? If they hesitate or look away, there's an issue. Which means if you play with vinyl trains in the basement and you come from work for 3 hours, and she doesn't respect that, that's not going to work out. If you want to go to Kollel and be a rabbi, she wants you to make a lot of money, that's not going to work out. And the same thing's true the other way. If she wants a guy that learns twice a day, and that just wants to make enough money to support the family, but he wants to go out and make a lot of money, that is going to be an issue in our relationship. I was coaching a guy, he was here at Aish, now he's back in Miami. He was dating this modern Orthodox girl. He's the new lead out chief, a sweet guy, early 20s, dates a girl, and he just wants to like raise a family, a Jewish family, a kosher family, not like he's not looking for money or anything. This sweet guy, and he calls me, he said, I'm dating this girl, she's beautiful, and she's an interior designer. And she's always buying the latest purses and cars. She has to have the latest car, leases the BMW, has a fancy purse, and it bothers him. And we talked about it, and I said, just see if you can make it work. Called me months later. He took her to his parents' house for a meal, to meet his parents. And she walks into their house in Hollywood, Florida, and she says to him, this will make a nice starter home someday. I said to him, Houston, we have a problem. I go, your values do not align. I go, you don't value money the way she does. She walked into your parents' house. She should say, this is a very nice house, and keep her mouth shut. No offense. This will make a nice starter home someday? I said, you have to consider this relationship. You have to consider, I didn't tell him to break up. I did break up with her. I had nothing to do with it. But I did say you have to. I don't want to break people up. I just don't. I don't want to break people up. I let them do themselves. Another guy's situation. A girl was. She was Aish Spire. Beautiful.
She was what?
She was in seminary age. About Cuba. She's going through the about Cuba process. 24 years old, really cute, but smart as a whip. Like she's really sharp. And she's telling me about her boyfriend. And she's bragging on about how sweet he is, and amazing, and someday they'll get married. And I said, why are you meeting with me? Because usually people meet with me without having an issue. No one comes to the rabbi, I'm not a rabbi, but they go to the rabbi, like people on TV. They don't come to the rabbi and say, oh, rabbi, our relationship is great, we're having a great relationship, we're in love, we're having a great marriage. No one does that. They only come to you when things are in problem, right? So she comes to me, I said, so why are you meeting me? She says, well, he's a bit slow. What do you mean? He goes, he's just not as smart as me. And we're talking about intellectual, right? It's very important for a woman to meet a man who's generally smarter than them. For you, I'll give you a scenario in a second, right? So she says, so I said to her, well, where is he? She'd been in Jerusalem, so I met with the guy. And we tell you something? This guy was, he is a sweetheart, he's amazing, he goes on her, he has awareness, he's amazing, but he's a little slow. So I said to her, this guy's great, he's an amazing guy, I said, you should make this work. She calls me 6 months later, she's in Maryland. She calls me crying, I said to her, do you respect this guy? And she said, no. I told her, he is going to make a great husband for someone someday, just not you. She said to me, can I date him for 2 more years until I finish college? I'm like, no, you can't do this guy.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. So men and women, did I tell you about this? I don't want to repeat something. The 2 guys in a bar, 2 women in the bar, see a guy. I told you this?
I will hear.
But most of it works. Say it again.
All right, just want you to do it. You have 2 girls in a bar. See, men and women see each other differently. Men look at women outside in. What?
Nah, just keep on, please.
Okay, yeah. Men, is this okay stuff for you?
It's great.
Yeah. I'm not giving you detours, you know.
It's fantastic because I'm like, yeah, my wife definitely respects me, so that's why I'm married.
But you have work to do. We're gonna get into it.
Well, that's why I hear it's just even more like respect for her.
I don't think any other shivas in Israel are teaching what I'm teaching. So you have 2 guys, you have 2 women in the bar, right? And a singles event. And then one of the girls sees a guy across the hall. She says to her girlfriend, that guy's hot. She says, I know him working. You don't meet him? She goes, yeah. She takes this girl over to meet this guy. And she gets to it. He's tall, muscles, good looking. And she starts talking to him. And she realizes that when God made his intelligence, she starts talking to him. And she realizes, porch light is on, nobody's home. Body by goals, brain by Teletubbies. Is she gonna go out with them? Not a chance in the world, right? On the other hand, I'm in a bar, right? It's a friend of mine, and I see this girl, and she's, I need to smoke, got everything going on, right? And I say to my friend, she's smoking. He goes, yeah, I know her. She works in my building. We meet her. I'm like, yeah. Takes me over. I start talking to her. Everything's happening. She's got it all going on. And I start talking to her, and I realize that when God gave her intelligence, He gave her the brain power of a cauliflower. Am I going to go out with her? Yes. I'm being honest, right? Am I right? Totally, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, she's just pretending to be stupid because so many guys see her all the time. She just gets tired of it and she's plays stupid. I take her out first date. love when I walk into a restaurant with her arm, everyone's looking at me, she's hot. And by the end of the day, I realized I had enjoyed my time better talking to the waitress. And by the second day, I'm wondering if I'm not going to stupid. By the third day, I had pity and relief I'm not going out with her anymore, and pity for the next guy to get sucked into her beauty. Do you get my point?
Oh, been there.
Been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, they're done that.
Yeah, being sucked into that thing. The thing is, thank God, and this is why it's very important. We talked last time. Is it hot in here or just me?
Hot.
22 degrees. 23.
Where's the?
Right here. He's got it.
Yeah.
I didn't set it.
Huh?
I didn't set it.
Jonathan.
It's a little better if you rock shorts and a short sleeve. Just saying.
I don't know if that's true.
Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
Freezing.
I think that when you're in the sun outside, it's going to be covered up. The sun's in your skin. That's my bad, whatever. I used to think the same. I used to wear the time behind the shorts, just like you.
Probably true.
Then I
Enough
got-
sunscreen slathered on you.
Then I got the short. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Fair.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't think I have nowhere to go.
No.
I'm here for a reason.
Yeah, you're going to go up, right? We're going to go up. That's it. That's it. Don't limit yourself. Don't ever say, okay. So the story of a guy who's he's from Rockland, Maryland, where I'm from, Rockland, Maryland, and he was married to a non-Jewish woman. And 2003, the Discovery Seminar came to Rockland, Maryland. You guys know what Discovery Seminar is? Have you had it?
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
Discovery is an Aish program where they go through and give you evidence. I have a class on it. I haven't given it. My own discovery. My own called Proof of Torah of God, been my manner of God. Coach Ratner's own ideas.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a really good class. Anyway, so I shouldn't say that because you haven't heard it, so it might not be good.
I'm not.
I'm not going to sell something, right? Anyway, so he comes to Discovery Seminar. He's secular Jew, but he's always felt very tied to Judaism. He's got 4 girls, not Jewish, obviously. He goes to the seminar. He literally walks out of the seminar. I want to be frum. I want to be literally wants to become a frum Jew immediately. He's one of these guys like Pinchas in the Torah. He's a zealot. He won every community. He's great. Unless you're under him or something. Anyway, I work with him. And anyway, he started learning Torah, and he started going to shul. And one Saturday, on the Saturdays he'd go to shul, and his wife, who's not Jewish, would go play softball at JCC. One week he said to his wife, the rabbi invited me for lunch after Shabbos. Can I go? And she said, yes. Now, if you're a non-religious person, and someone says, I'm going to lunch, what is in your mind with the idea of lunch? Like, how long can it be? What are you thinking about?
Can I come as well?
An hour and a half.
Yeah, well, I personally, I stopped going to lunch when I was living in Maryland because when rabbis would take me out, they would fundraise for me. I'm like, just tell me what you want. I don't want to go to lunch because it's 2 hours of time. You drive to kosher restaurant, drive back. It's like I don't want to waste my time. Anyway, so you're thinking an hour and a half. So she comes back from softball around 12. Shul's over at 12 o'clock, and they have kiddush from 12 to 12:45. And then the rabbis go and take you back to your house. They walk back home. And this particular rabbi, they still make salads, they're still preparing lunches and stuff. So she gets home at 12:30, expecting her husband to come home. 1:30, maybe 2, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4:30. He comes home at 5 o'clock, and she is just livid, screaming at him. And she came to the conclusion, she says, I have a choice. I'm divorcing you, or I'm becoming Jewish. There's no middle ground anymore.
Wow.
Very big decision.
Yeah.
I mean,
from a lunch.
Well, it was
It's
a build-up.
getting involved. But
Well, I didn't tell the workup to the story that he was going to shul and she was getting annoyed. And
Yeah.
his rabbi said, stop going to shul. Stay at home. So one Saturday, they went to go hiking in Maryland, and he was in the car, and she was driving hiking one Saturday morning, and they drove by the shul, and her heart sank. Because she knew her husband really wanted to be at shul, not be hiking. So she knew deep down that this is what her husband wanted. And she had to either basically buy in or leave. What'd she do? She bought in. Nope, actually, she divorced him. She tried to murder him. No, I was kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. She said to him, because she was taking classes, and one of the reasons that really stuck to her was when the rabbi said, Rabbi of the shul, don't come to shul, stay at home. Because when you're coming into religious, you think, oh, they're doing it for the money, they're doing it for honor. It's not really doing l'shem shamayim, it's for the sake of pure heaven. And he said when she heard that the rabbi said, stay home from shul, she knew it was l'shem shamayim, it was for the sake of heaven, not for the relationship, not for his ego or his shul. She said to him, where are we going to be? What are we going to hold by? Are we going to like become modern Orthodox and eat at non-kosher restaurants? Are we going to be Haredi? Are we going to go to the yeshivas? We're going to, like, where are we going to hold? What's our limit going to be? And he said something to her that sticks to me today. He said to her, why would you ever put a limit on how great you can be? Why would you ever do that? You're not going to build a company and say, you know what, I just want to sell $1.3 million a year, I'm done. Once I get to that, I'm taking off, right? I remember Steve Berg, the CEO here, was giving a talk to the guys, and he meant, you have sales, all these guys who are fundraisers have sales goals. But let's say you hit your goal in March. Are you going to say, I raised $3 million by March, okay, I'm taking the rest of the year off? No, you keep working. You never put a limit on yourself, how great you can be in life. And the same thing in life. You never want to put a limit on how great you can be in life. You have no idea. You think that you asked me 7 years ago that I'm going to be teaching at Aish Torah, Levay, or Samea, Aish Seminary, and for hundreds of other organizations? It's crazy what I'm doing. Absolutely bonkers. I can't even believe I still do it. I still pinch myself after 6 years. I get to walk down here and teach you guys. I pinch myself. It's unbelievable. It's such a blessing. I do get tired sometimes. I walk back. So, I'm 60 now. It's not so easy to walk back. Anyway, yes.
For the question, do I respect him? Is there like, what are like little side questions that you would expect, like gauge that for the woman? Like how are they?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
When my wife met me, she was raised in a traditional home. She kept her form of kosher, which was not eat shellfish, not eat milk and meat, but they ate out and stuff. And I ate everything, right? So she almost didn't go out with me. Because I had no kosher in my life. But she met me, and by the way, it's a very important point I didn't talk about last time. Because everyone has a vision in their head of who they're going to marry. This is what's going to, and you get offered a girl, someone says, I have a girlfriend, oh, she's not my type. How do you know what your type is? Seriously. How do you know what your type is? Because you don't know your type until you meet your type. You have no idea what your type is. Your type might have come back when I was little. Farrah Fawcett Majors, the TV show was called Charlie's Angels. She was one of the hot models in the 1970s, early 80s, right? And everyone had a vision of, because all the guys loved her, a vision of like marrying a Farrah Fawcett Major blonde buxom lookalike. And then they get 23 years old, they meet a nice blonde girl, got a big buxom, and next thing you know, they get married and they have a horrible relationship. Because they have no idea what their type is. You don't know your type until you meet your type. Am I making sense? It's very, you see pictures, and pictures are sometimes, I used to think that you have to see pictures, and I think it's negative. It's almost negative. It's really funny because like I've talked about this before. Short guys completely get discriminated against. A woman is allowed to ask how tall you are. Do you know that? Are you allowed to ask her how much she weighs? You can't do that. You can't do that. Is that fair? It's not fair at all.
I think you can still do it.
You can?
Then you know it's the right woman.
Yeah,
It's based on the answer.
In an ideal world, it is.
Huh?
So in an ideal world, it is. In fact, it's probably more discriminatory to go like say something against a man's height than it is a woman's weight,
Right.
because in theory she could lose that weight.
And you can't change your height.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you
Can.
can now.
Brutal surgery.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
too.
Or wear platform shoes, which
Yeah, yeah.
The basically not.
Because surgery now, you get 2 inches. Like,
you never
they
saw
take,
that
like,
South
thing
Park
out-
episode?
I'm sure it's not a good idea.
It's not right.
You know, it's not a good idea.
No.
I'm trying to even it's even legal to do that.
There's a
I
South
don't-
Park episode where the Jewish kid wants to be a tall black basketball player, so he gets the surgery to do that, but then he doesn't realize he can't actually jump. When he comes down, it'll pop out of the fit between his knees. Anyway, it screws
Is it
him.
Seinfeld?
Which was
South Park.
Oh, South Park.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
Seinfeld would be a very different story. I don't think you can do it for real people, but.
I would say it's actually more fair that they can like discriminate against height, because if you think about it, that's a major factor as to how your kids are going to come out. Like, you know, if
I
say
think to a
woman is-
degree, but I've had girls that are 5'3" not want to date me because I'm 5'10" and not 6 foot.
Sure, like
That's
that's
insane.
Yeah.
But
You
see,
know, you say that.
You
You say that.
you
say, you know what? That's cool. We shouldn't do that.
No, yeah.
But what about their eating habits? Eating habits is going to affect the
You're from New York. You're not Boston. I know, but you are so New York. The other thing I want to talk about in this guy's New York. Like, just remind me of like Long Island.
I say F the Yankees though, so.
I know.
Die
You're a Red Sox guy?
hard. Boss.
Did we do sunscreen love here yet? Okay, I'll do this now. Sunscreen love.
You touched upon it.
I touched. I'm gonna get into it now. Let me first want to say one other thing. I was coaching this girl. I want to talk a little more about respect. No, you don't know the right date. You don't. You don't know your type until you meet your type. So I was coaching this girl who's 40 years old, beautiful, wants to get married, and she's having a hard time finding a guy. So in my essentials classes, there was a guy who was coming. He was 78 years old, came for a week, stayed for a month. You know that story, right? Single guy. I think his brother's observant, living in Israel. So he came just for a week. And
78.
78, old guy, wrinkly, right?
On.
But it's good fine walking and everything. He said, I want to meet a girl. I want to meet a girl who's growing Jewishly. He's not from or anything. He's from between Boulder and Denver. But I want to meet a woman who's growing Jewishly, and I would like to get married again. So I said to him, you're a cute, nice man, and let me post you on my Facebook page. So there's a ton of single women in their 60s, 70s, 80s, tons of them, right? Because guys die early and whatever. And they get left by the side of the road. Anyway, so I said to him, let me post a picture on Facebook. I did, and I got lots of requests, and I found a woman for him. And he's coming to visit, I think in October, so he'll leave the essentials with his wife. Or girlfriend, I don't know, I'm not gonna push him whenever he's down here or not. But nice Jewish woman living in Costa Rica. So I said to this woman, let me do the same thing for you. So I had lots of requests, whatever. I found a guy for her, lives in Jerusalem, she lives in Jerusalem. He's like 4 years older. Okay, he's not great looking, but he's not fat, he's thin. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna vet this guy. So I met him for coffee on Jaffa Street. I'm not a matchmaker, but I wanted to help this woman out because she was friends of ours. And I met the guy, he was great. He was engaging, he got me a coffee, creamy, he knew my needs. He loved his job. He was in he was in educational technology. He worked from home, but he loved his work. He loved leading. He's an introvert, loves working at home, but he loved his job. So I call this woman up, I go, I have a guy for you. And she says to me, what does he do? And I said, he's like she's no picture, no nothing. I go, he's in like educational technology. And she says to me, he's not for me. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not for you. Educational technology, that could be Google. What do you mean? She goes, I want a business guy. And this is when I came with the idea. This was last year. You don't know your type until you meet your type. What are you talking about? You have a guy who's happy, lives in the area, nice looking guy, wants to raise that, he's also about Cuba. He's maybe nuts. Maybe nuts. That's why I threw a chapter in, you don't know your type until you meet your type. Now, what's it about to talk about? Oh, sunscreen. Okay, so this is like the title of my book, this is why this is the idea. So in a relationship, we discussed making the emotional connection. And there are things that break that emotional connection. And we're going to get into, probably not this week, we're going to get into another week of 4 A's. This is attention, affection, appreciation, and awareness we're going to get into. Before I get into that, this is part of Sunscreen Love, but before I get into it, I want to explain why it's called Sunscreen Love. So I used to go to a beach in Delaware called Dewey Beach. Anyone ever heard of this before? You know Dewey?
I've heard of it. I have a friend that lived there. I'm from Florida, so never been.
No one know Dewey?
I know it. I walked on it once, but that's.
It's near Rehoboth, between Ocean Lake and Rehoboth. Anyway, it's like a place where single people rent a beach house the entire summer. You would love it. And so in the wintertime, in like February, you go to these bars on like Wednesday night, and you have sign-up night where people have a list, and they have usually 4 or 5 people join together to get a house. They find a house. At the time, it was like maybe $20,000 for the summer for a 4-bedroom townhouse. Just an example, right? Or a 6-bedroom house, whatever. And so you get 20 people or to just sign in, right? 1,000. I think at the time it was like $500 for the summer. The whole summer. You go whenever you want. Unless you rent the house out Monday through Wednesday, Friday, which we sometimes did, but generally on weekends it's always available. And you go down, and of course everyone brings friends. So you have to pay dues, $20 a night. And so you have 45 people in a 4-bedroom house. Seriously. So I used to go, I get early, I'd find a spot between the bed and the wall, I put my blankets and have a little spot on the floor. It was great. It was fun, obviously. I'm in my 20s. So I go to the beach all day, and I put sunscreen, because you're on the beach all day long. It's just a beach. You put sunscreen on. I go to the beach all day long, and I come back at 4 in the afternoon at my beach house. I'd be completely burnt. What happened?
You didn't use zinc sunscreen.
You reapply.
I didn't reapply. Have you heard this? Yeah. I didn't reapply the sunscreen. Love is the exact same way. See, when I was on the beach, I was busy. I was playing in the waves, taking a walk, talking to my friends, taking a nap. I forgot to reapply. That is called romance. That is taking that love, infatuation, and desire that you have with someone and turning to love. If you don't romance the relationship, that relationship is going to burn. Do you get my drift? People think they're walking down the aisle, we're in love, and you think that love is going to last forever. Do you know why? Because when you're young, 25, 30, it's easy. But the longer you're married, you have children, you have hobbies, you have careers. You forget to romance the relationship. We're gonna get into the 4 A's. But first, I was raised in an Ashkenazi home. And my mom was critical. You guys might have parents that are critical. I don't know if you do, whatever. You know critical? You have critical parents? Do you like to be criticized? Do you like to be criticized? Do you like to be criticized?
In some ways, but not the way my mom likes to.
Do you get my point?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's the problem. People don't realize they're criticizing. They do it. Back up for a second. I met a guy yesterday. He's getting married in 7 weeks. Good looking guy, 24. He's out of the army. His wife's just got out of the army. His girlfriend. They're getting married in 7 weeks. And he's been texting me a lot the last 3 days. His text Tuesday morning was, how much arguing is considered too much arguing? I said, if you have to ask a question, this is an issue. So he meets with me. He's asking lots of questions for like 3 days. He meets with me, and he finally says to me, I said to him, what are you arguing? He goes, well, I criticized my wife. What do you criticize? He goes, she just got out of the army a week ago. He's like, you need to get a job. You gotta have it. He's bugging her about getting a job. I said, what are you criticizing her for? He goes, she needs to get a job. You're gonna make her crazy. I go, stop it. Stop criticizing your girlfriend all the time about getting a job. When she's ready, she'll get a job. He's criticizing everything. He goes, I want to make her a better person. I'm like, you're gonna kill this relationship. I'm coaching a different girl. She's 38 years old. Again, another Balchiva. Good looking girl. And she wants to get married. She dated this guy, Sephardi guy. Now, if you know Sephardi guys, a lot of them in Israel, not all of them, but like, you know, they know stuff. Like, they might wrap the film every day, but then they might drive on Friday night. Like, they're right, you know what I'm saying? They're mixed. Especially the guys in LA. Are you Sephardi?
Yeah.
Yeah. LA?
No.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah. You're LA?
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of guys from here from LA?
What's that?
A lot of guys from here this summer from LA.
Yeah.
Do you know some of them?
Yeah.
They were from like La Cienega area.
Pico, yeah, around there.
Yeah. They were great. They loved my class. It's fine. Coach, you gotta come to LA. Like, invite me. What?
Those guys need it.
Oh.
Those LA guys really need it.
They're like, we don't care about money. It's what like, I give my books away. He goes, just take some money. Like, threw me some like $100 on it. Like, he took my wife and I to dinner. It was very nice of him. I know, but yeah. So she's dating this Sephardi guy, and she goes to lunch with him. She's telling me the story. The relationship fell apart. She goes to lunch with him in time, and they order soup and a sandwich. And she's new Balchiva, so she goes to wash for the sandwich, because we eat bread, not just on Shabbos on a Friday night for Challah. We eat a sandwich during the week. On a Tuesday afternoon, we say chamosi on the bread. That's a halacha. We say chamosi on the bread. So she has to wash two times, three, and she comes back, and she says chamosi, and she eats her sandwich. He goes and washes. Doesn't say a word. Comes back, eats the sandwich, no bracha. And she says to him, she's telling me this story, she says to him, aren't you going to say a bracha? He says, no, I wash my hands, because my hands are dirty. And she says back to him, you know you're supposed to say a bracha. He takes the soup and he pours it on her lap. Oh! Just kidding. My point is, I said to her, don't you realize you're criticizing him? She goes, I wasn't criticizing him. I go, from your perspective, you're not criticizing. From his perspective, he's being criticized, and no man or woman likes to be criticized. She says, I was just trying to make him into a better man. Do you see my issue? Yeah. We criticize, we don't know we're criticizing. And every time you criticize your spouse, you're wiping the sunscreen off. And every time you compliment your spouse, either through attention, affection, appreciation, or awareness, you're putting sunscreen on, keeping the relationship from burning. Do you get the analogy now? Mm-hmm. People do it all the time. I've been on a lot of planes. I see the old Jewish couple get on. And she's just nagging the guy, nagging the guy, nagging the guy. Do they have a passionate relationship? Are they married? Yes. Do they have a passionate relationship? No. Technically married. Like I said before, we talked about this last week. In case you didn't hear this. You take I'm repeating this, sorry. You take 100 marriages in the world today. Not in the frum world, in the regular world. How many get divorced? 50%. So we take 50 marriages and we throw them out the window. You have 50 marriages left. How many of them do you think are in passionate, loving, happy relationships?
10.
10. 5. 10 means you basically have 1 out of 10 shot. You're walking down the aisle. I said again, you're in love, and you think that love's going to last forever, and you have a 1 in 10 shot. I'm sorry to scare you. No, I'm not sorry to scare you. I'm trying to scare you. I'm trying to scare you to learn what it takes to be in a loving relationship. Because no one's teaching this stuff. Yes.
How would you grow without criticizing?
Okay. Exactly. A marriage can handle some criticism. A good marriage can handle some criticism. But remember, when you criticize, it's like a shirt. And you pull a piece of thread on my shirt. And there's lots of threads in this shirt, right? You keep criticizing, I still have a shirt. But after 10, 15 years of criticizing, there's no shirt left and there's no love left in the relationship. I'm going to say something. Let me give you an example, and we'll go back on this. I was coming home on a Saturday morning. Is this class okay? I don't know if you guys like this.
Yeah,
this is great.
I'm not sure. If you ever want something else, just tell me. I've lots of
You hear me
material.
typing, it's gonna take notes.
I have tons of material. I just give you the book. I just give you the book.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
Let's do that.
I forgot it's the other. It's the blue sunscreen love. It's in the other. Well,
Check it
take
out.
one. Yeah.
Great.
I have a new version of it. Don't take that one. I only have one here in Israel. I redid it. I made the blue version, like the first copy, with some mistakes in it. Minor mistakes, nothing big. You know, like whatever.
What?
Typo or terrible advice?
Huh? What'd you say?
What kind of mistake?
Yes, it's a typo or terrible advice mistake.
No. Small, like minor. You might not even notice. You know, like. In one of my books, somehow like 2 extra lines got in, and like it's a break in the middle of the paragraph, and there might be something where I should have small
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
First edition.
And it probably still mistakes some new ones. Like it's almost impossible to make a book without any mistake. It's so hard. You know, I don't know how to do it. Even with AI, it's still hard.
But you're saying good marriage can handle some criticism, but
Oh yeah, lunch.
Thank you.
well,
Thanks for keeping me on track.
I got you.
I go off topic sometimes. Just
No
so you know.
worries.
It's an ADD going crazy. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
we know our own.
They call it AD. Hey, donuts. Like I just get lost sometimes. Food comes away. Right? So
Good marriage can handle some criticism.
I come home Saturday morning from shul. Typically, I come home at 10:30 in the morning after Kiddush, and I go home. I have a hot plate of right, and I come home. I have aluminum trays of food. I put them on the hot plate, and by 12:30 we have hot lunch in my house for Shabbos. I came home late one day. I was talking about, I don't know what happened, 11:30. My expectations were that when I walked into the house, my wife stays home from shul, she stays home, right? So you know this. My expectations were that my wife would have recognized that I'm late, and she would have taken the food out of the refrigerator and put it on the hot plate. But my expectations did not meet the reality. I walked in, no food on the hot plate. What's my reaction?
Woman, what the heck?
Right? I wanted to say, why did you put the food in the hot plate? Right? Am I right? Should I have said something?
No.
You're married, you
Not
don't
like
count.
that.
Should I have said something?
Of course.
Of course.
Covenant.
What? Go ahead.
I'd say you could say a suggestion. I wouldn't criticize it particularly.
Here's the thing.
Suggestion is criticism.
Thank God.
Like that.
Thank God I'm teaching all the time now. Because I think in my head, I said to myself, Daniel, because that's my name, I said, you know, no matter how I package this, no matter how sweet I say it, no matter how I do it, it's going to come across as either attacking her or criticism.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's in the moment.
Yeah.
Because it's right then that it had to be done. Right?
Nothing can change with already.
Nothing can change what's already done.
Can't say anything
So I
that
thought to
else we don't
myself, I'm going off a tangent, but it's so true. I thought to myself, am I going to get into a tiff with my wife because of some hot chicken and rice? Seriously, that's what it's about. It's about hot chicken and rice. What's more important, hot chicken and rice or marriage? Seriously, what is it?
Depends on that rice.
Okay, version. Now you get to technicality. No, seriously.
But can't you still bring it up in like a way like, oh, hey, honey, I'm clearly like, I forgot, I always come on time to have like a good lunch, right? I can have
Yeah.
whatever it is. Next time if you see I don't come home like on time, do you think maybe we put it on the plaza? Like, why would
Close,
that not
close,
be okay?
close. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't do it then.
Nope.
You can't do it then. So I said, Daniel, don't say anything.
I feel like complaining about food not being warm enough is kind of a feminine characteristic.
It's anything though. It could be anything. That's just one example.
This is just a simple. This happened. This happened. It's a true story. I'm telling you the truth. So I said, don't say anything. I went and I took the food out. I put it on the hot plate. And it's simple. But 3 days later, usually I go to bed. I try to go to bed early. I usually lie in bed and read before I go to sleep. My wife's in bed reading. Speaking of writing, I have a killer book coming out. I mean, gosh, it's so good. True book. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's called Emotional Vampires: How to Protect Your Health, Happiness from People Who Suck Your Dry. It's so good. But I sent the cover, the picture of the cover today. This is the first version. This is the first version. It's going to change a little bit, but it's really killer. I'm getting off topic.
It's great though. Let's see the cover and let's hear the story about why you have to wait 3 days before you start chicken rice.
Here's the. This is the first version of it.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Nice.
The broken window, like
bestseller.
huh?
As the cover.
It's so funny. I told the guy, I said, we should put on the front of it almost a New York Times best, or soon to be New York Times bestseller.
It's actually a really nice, looks really nice cover.
Future New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, that's not. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well,
It's really good.
yeah, very good. The book's, I'm very happy with it. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Oh,
3 days.
3 days
yeah.
after.
So afterwards, I said to my wife and Debbie, I said, honey, by the way, if I happen to come home late from school in the future, would you mind putting the food in the hot plate? No issue. No criticism.
Wow.
No nothing, because it happened at a different time when we were in bed together, and it was nothing.
Perfect.
But we didn't achieve in the relationship. Yes.
Why does it matter so much?
Oh.
With the time? I understand that makes so much sense. What is it about it?
Here's the thing. In most relationships, when things fall apart is when you're emotional. And when you're emotional, like I was, I wanted the hot food, nothing good happens. Nothing good happens when you're emotional. This is why I have a chapter in the book called the 24-hour rule. It's not halacha, it's a suggestion, which means when you want to argue with your wife about something, you need to wait. And there's an idea that you should never go to bed angry. False. Better to wait, talk about something when you've had some sleep over it. And generally, you're going to tell me, well, why would I wait 24 hours to talk to my wife? Because I'm going to forget what I was mad about. That's the point.
Wow.
99% of issues in relationships are about stupid little things. I'm not saying there's not times, like I've had issues with religious schools, like the husband wants to go to a Haredi school and the wife wants to go to some secular school. That's a major issue, right? That's a value issue that should have happened before you got married, by the way. You discuss that, what schools you want your kids to go to before you get married. That's not something that waits till after you have kids. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, a lot of marriages end not because of like one major thing, but because of 1,000 cuts.
It's
Thousand
the little things that happen on a
1,000
daily
paper
basis.
cuts.
It's the little things that happen on a daily basis that keeps the relationship strong.
Or the opposite.
It's great having you in class today because you're married. I mean, it's really, right? I love it when I have older people in my class, like older than you. Like,
I'm the nerd.
Can I call it
Yeah,
respect?
sure,
You know,
good.
the husband, I'm going to get the respect for a second. Hold that stupid question. I'm thinking my thought out. I'm going to do that. Men are very easy. I teach this with women. I teach some seminary girls. I go, men are very easy. We need 3 things in a relationship. We need food, we need sex, and then we need respect. And everything else is a bonus. Am I right? And every guy who's 55 years old, 65, they're all like this. That's why I love they know what I'm talking about. And you guys don't know because you think it'll be love. You don't need love, you need to be respected. And when you get criticized, it comes across as being disrespected. And when she gets criticized, it comes across as being unvalidated. To get my point, and we're going to end with this one note. Do you have a question?
Yeah, has your wife heard this class?
She's heard me speak. I speak all the time. We just have.
Does she-
In other words,
in other words, does she know that you're criticizing her?
Scotch and sushi.
Who was at my house for Scott?
Me.
Yeah.
You guys, it's like top of the house.
Yeah. Is this a regular thing or is it a one-time thing? 'Cause that sounds amazing.
I did it in July. I did it. Yeah, I'll probably have the wedding at my house in November with the whole sheet. That's usually what happens. You been else around yet? Yeah.
It was nice. It was fun.
It was fun, right? I was supposed to be an hour. You guys gave for an extra hour. I think you have the house at 10:15. It's fine. It's fine.
I didn't know when we left.
Yeah, no. See, I never got to give my speech. I still haven't given my speech yet. This is my Charlie Harari speech Tony Robbins, Unleash the Greatness Inside of You. It's a very good talk. I never get into it. I have some stuff to say. Anyway, my point is, compliment, don't criticize. When you compliment your spouse, you're putting on sunscreen. When you criticize, you're wiping that sunscreen off, and you're allowing the relationship to burn. I have a lot of raps and songs in my head, and I'm gonna give you the last one of this. Compliment, don't criticize. Compliment, don't criticize. Compliment, don't criticize. Or she'll poke you in the eye. Compliment, don't criticize. Or she'll find another guy. Compliment, don't criticize. Or she'll put you grocery guys. Compliment, don't criticize. Then he'll say, bye, bye, bye. Compliment, don't criticize. Get your love to soar and fly. When you understand sunscreen love, when you understand that when you criticize your spouse, you're wiping the sunscreen off, allowing it to burn. When you compliment, you're putting sunscreen on, building the love in a relationship.
Here's the hard question I gotta ask you though. How do you get through when you're in that moment and you're like, ugh, and all you want to do is to criticize?
Of course.
How do you stop yourself and then channel that into something else?
You have to, it takes practice, and you can practice. Just like you can practice being patient, you can practice being kind, you can practice judging other people good, you can practice keeping kosher, you practice, everything in life takes an effort. Just like raising children. You want to raise great children, it takes an effort. The more effort you put in, the better children you're going to have. And I see people, I was annoyed the other day at a dinner, and it was a Haredi guy, and he had this baby in a carriage, and he's in the men's section, we're eating dinner, and the baby's crying, just take the baby to school like this. I'm like, your baby wants to be held. Your raising baby's crying, it wants to be held, and go shh, whatever. I'm like, and you're being lazy, just doing this. It bugs me. It takes an effort. And it takes an effort to not criticize your spouse, and it takes an effort to train yourself not to argue and yell and scream. Mm-hmm. When you have anger in a relationship, that is like a avodah zarah. It's like idol worship, because you're saying, God, you made a mistake, but the world is not working the way I want it to. And God doesn't make mistakes. On that note, we'll come back. We'll get the 4A's next week. We'll get into the classes. Thank you very much.
Guys.